Really, I've never seen him play in the tournament. So
I haven't
if
seen
he
him play in the
does,
tournament, but it might be coming out. This is the game to pull out your stops in.
yeah, because
So
these will determine who's higher ranked, who's going to be in that number 2 seed when it comes to the tournament.
an
Since
unsurprising Aatrox ban. I know Mojo Kills has been playing a bunch, and
and Raiden Wing banning Zach, I'm not surprised there. He was at the tournament as well. He saw how big Zach got with us, and the
Blue
comment.
Dream Fiendin has shown his Zac in this tournament too. I think.
Yeah, so they definitely know. Let's ban out Zach, take out their jungler strongest and most comfort pick. But Blue Fiend Dreaming, he does have a huge jungler pick, jungle lineup, so it shouldn't be a problem. And yeah, J4 and Lee Sin being banned, no surprises there. Zed being banned, interesting ban. Though Treefy probably does have a good amount of games on Zed, so I'm suppose there's no surprise there. I would
I
have
know
liked.
Worm King plays. Never mind, wrong team.
Yeah, so I would have expected actually the Oriana ban, but maybe they felt their mid feels more threatened by a Zed, so we're going to look at champions that would be tend to probably be weaker against Zed. Nasus being locked in instantly, so that might be a top lane Nasus, or it could be jungle, but I'm going to assume it's a top lane Nasus. Jungle Nasus is just not as strong at, it doesn't get as much farm as that jungle Nasus, or as the
Jungle
top,
Nasus's
yeah, top lane.
clear speed isn't very good right now, and with the speed of stealing buffs being really common, I don't. The change might be a little bit different because you don't hit level 3 so fast.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, no, it's definitely he. I don't think he would be a strong jungle pick at this point, especially since NASA's first pick can be easily counterpicked by main top lane champions as well as AD carries, and we see Ezreal being picking up by a Carbonic. I like that pick. They know, or I'm guessing a prediction is accurate or similar to mine that Worm King is playing AD, and the only AD I've seen Worm King play is Ezreal. So we'll
I
see
can
how.
see a Caitlyn or Varus coming out for Worm King this game.
Yeah, I'm really curious to. Yeah, those would be good picks. For laning phase, Varus might be a little tough since Ezreal does have an ability to dodge all of Varus' skills, but at the large for a large chunk of mana. So Treefy locking in Ari, no surprise there. He wants to. He got rid of one of his main assassins, so let's pick another one. So not banning that, and yeah, it just looks like I'm finally getting the final ban for Carbonic, and it was another Nocturne, so all jungle bans, so scare the jungle. Steven Jackson locking in Fiddlesticks, so Raiden Wing gonna be playing Fiddlesticks, so I'm guessing Raiden Wing and Steven Jackson will be trained, so we'll be top lane Nasus.
I'd be very surprised to see a Fiddlesticks anywhere but support.
Yeah. Jungle
I
Fiddlesticks,
know
not as
Raiden Wing
strong.
does play Fiddlesticks support as well.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his cover picks. I'm liking the Nami pick. Personally, I played Nami. I got forced to play Nami 8 out of my 9 games at the tournament. And she is definitely a solid champ in every single way. Though I'm interested to see how the speed buffs and all those are, like how much of a difference it really makes. Because I haven't got a chance to play her at all yet, so I'm interested to see how her kit's going to be working. So hybriding your pick, probably trolling, but going back actually going to Lysandra. I got a feeling that's going to be a mid Lysandra versus that, and it's going to be a Shyvana top actually versus Nasus. I like that.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
It could very well be Shyvana jungle.
I have a feeling Mojo Kill's going to pull off Shyvana top. I have a feeling because Shyvana, while being somewhat auto-attack dependent, isn't completely reliant. Because of her W down, you maxing W first, you get basically the move speed to counter with her, as well as a ton of magic damage, meaning Nasus just can't build armor to counter you. So, the Worm King, alright, picking Caitlyn.
Olaf
So,
jungle.
yeah.
Olaf jungle's really strong. He's popular in Korea right now.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm definitely kind of concerned though because look what our team has. They have a Lysandra, they have a Nami, they have an Ezreal, a lot of champions that can kite. So Olaf's gonna need his ultimate to get into the fights. I really hope he picks up Ghost as well because without Ghost, if he flashes and he's not able to close that gap, there's gonna be a lot of trouble for him. He's gonna again unless his ultimate is up and active. So
His ultimate's gonna let him walk right through Nami CC, Renekton CC, and Lysandra
yeah,
CC.
Renekton being okay, so it will be Renekton top. All right, so
Yeah,
it is going with Siobhan Jungle.
I'm not surprised.
I liked her Renekton pick, but I'm also kind of discouraged by it because while Renekton is a huge lane bully and gives Nasus a hard time early, once Nasus just a tiny bit of armor like a Glacial Shroud, a lot of Renekton's damage is shut down. So it's going to be interesting to see how his top lane develops. Also, so you know, is Ghosted TP on Nasus versus a Flash Ignite on Renekton. So Renekton's definitely going to be looking for the kills, while Nasus is going to be looking to make any situation give him a one-man advantage. So I'm definitely expecting Dragon to be highly contested. Granted, its worth is a lot lower than it used to be. Early game Dragons only give like, even at 10 minutes, it only gives like 140 gold. So it's really not that worth that much early on, but still is going to be a contested objective. All right, so it looks like
I
they're all the
think
champs. Yep.
I could see Renekton trying to win early, push out,
Ooh,
and go gank. Lissandra's a
Ghost.
pretty easy champion to gank for, and Renekton's burst damage could probably take out a squishy Ari before she can get her ult off.
Yeah, a Ghost being actually taken on Renekton. I think that's probably a good thing that will allow him to actually keep up with Nasus. It will also allow him to actually kind of keep up with Caitlyn as well if he does get CC'd. So, and there's a lot of CC coming out of X Machina, so you can't deny it. You got Fiddlesticks Fear, which is 3 seconds. You got Nasus Wither. You have Ari Charm. Olaf slow with axes, and Caitlyn traps and net. So a lot of slows and hard CC coming out from their team. While on the other team, we're looking at Renekton stun, Lissandra W, Q, and ult. So Lissandra being a ton of utility there. Nami ult and bubble, and as well as Shyvana ult being a soft interrupt. So definitely CC, I would say favor X Machina because it's just a lot more hard CC, and you're reliant on Nami and Lissandra really hitting their abilities. Well, Lissandra's W and R is basically for sure hit a lot of the time. It's still not as safe as what Ari can do or as what Fiddlesticks can do. So
I'm gonna give the team fight edge over to our Carbonic. They have a lot of AoE, a lot of AoE CC, and just an overall strong team fight with the mobility
yeah,
on Ezreal. I think that Ex Machina has a lot of picking power, especially Fiddle Fear, and Ari generally has a lot of pick off power.
plus Olaf Chase is just absolutely fantastic. If you get that chain axe going, no one's getting away from you. And they did change it to a flat 2 seconds of just a lot of slow. It doesn't diminish anymore. So all right, and yeah, no, definitely with Carbonic, they do. The only way I see them really winning team fights though is through short burst engagements. You need that Nami bubble and or wave, following up Lissandra ulti or any way of that on top of an Ezreal ult with Shyvana diving the back line. So that's definitely what I'm going to hopefully see is Bluefy and Dreamy, knowing his playstyle, he will be diving the back line a lot. Um, was the only, but it is a Fiddlesticks though, so Fiddlesticks and Caitlyn should actually be able to handle Shyvana if Treefy or Steven Jackson. I think Shyvana is the best person to wither. Even though it is an Ezreal, he is AD carry. He is a caster AD carry. So he's already going to be slippery enough. I think it would be better for Steven Jackson to focus peeling team fights, take out the Shyvana, and them just kind of work back, kiting away, wait for the Carbon to blow their cooldowns, and then re-engage or possibly engage off of Fiddlesticks and Ari just coming in from the side and picking someone off instantaneously. So our Nami is definitely going to have to be very cautious with her positioning because she can get picked off so quickly and can get CC'd for such a long time. So hopefully my League of Legends loads. I'm guessing it actually won't, so I'm just going to do a monitor capture here if it doesn't. Or am
I
I
want to
kind of...
look at the bot lane because obviously Carbonic has a strong bot lane with tough stuff and
Mhm.
domination being exceptional players in their own rights. And I think a lot of it is going to hinge on whether Raiden Wing and the Worm King can keep up with them. Because if the bot lane gets ahead early,
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely see. I haven't really seen much of Worm King's Caitlyn. He is a good player though overall. He has good mechanics, so I'm going to expect a lot of poke. But I've run Ezreal Nami tens of probably over 100 games of doing Ezreal Nami, and it is a very volatile, very all-in-ish actually lane where level 2 and 3 you can get the fight turn on you instantly. Granted, Fiddlesticks can counter this with a silence. You can stop all that burst damage by silencing the Ezreal and Nami, allowing for Caitlyn to get in a better position. So it'll definitely be the supports and whoever can outplay the other, and whoever can take ward bush control here. And I'm definitely going to be interested to see what ward item, I guess that's what I'll call it, their 7th item, whether they take the scrying orb or the ghost ward. And I'm guessing Raiden Wings definitely will pick up that scrying orb to take out opposing wards, keep that aggressive bush control, which will allow Caitlyn and Phil 6 to constantly poke down Ezreal and Nami. Forcing Nami to sustain is a really pivotal thing to do. If you can force Nami to put early levels on W, it takes away from her poke damage from her E. So the game's starting up. Players on Machina buying very quickly here, and heading right on out. While looks like Carbonic kind of taking its time. Ezreal hasn't got it in. Oh, there's Ezreal starting the Relic Shield. So and so is Nami. So looks like they're taking up some pro strats, quote unquote. We don't know if it's actually really the best thing or not, but they're going to be looking to play very passive right now. Take advantage of the extra health and health regen, and take advantage of the passive to get them a little extra gold between each other.
Ex Machina's bot lane has both a pink ward and the sweeping lens, which will give him a little bit of ward control, I think, overall. I don't know if the ward totem is as good on supports, considering you can only have 3. So as long as you get if you just want to pick up a sight stone, that's going to cover it overall.
Yeah, I know. One thing I've been actually curious about myself is what to start with. What are we going to start with on supports? And I've been contemplating myself. I actually don't agree with the banner to start because you're not giving your team more control. But then Bait's happening. So right now, Bubble missing actually. The Thirst in a bad position, forced the flash. Ignite was burned on Lysandra, and Ignite was burned on Renekton, so kind of misplay there for them to blow both of their Ignites. While only Flash was burned from Olaf, but minions have spawned. It looks like they might be tempted to invade the blue. Olaf not being able to actually go back at this point if he wants to get his jungle. Oh geez, this invade is very scary, but they don't have any heart CC. Blue Fiend Dreaming actually, the third Fiend caught out. Ezreal flashing out to get it. Another Nami bubble missing, unfortunately. So Ari having to flash there as well to get out of the way. So overall, Summoner is burned. The advantage does go to Ex Machina. They didn't burn any offensive Summoners, while the opposing team did. Alright, it looks like a huge lead for Olaf there in his red. So he's going to try to go over. He did lose experience, though, since Caitlyn was tanking that, so he lost experience. So he's going to need to try to kill his race. I say he needs to go back and then try to do his blue. But with Olaf,
his blue was taken by Shyvana.
Oh, his blue was taken. Oh, geez, that's really bad for him because
Shyvana also left a camp or a small minion.
Yeah, that's going. The Thirst is going to be too happy when he sees that. And definitely since he's already behind, he's going to check it, realize it's not there, and then attempt to go to the Shyvana's blue. But Shyvana's probably going to be there by that time. Though Shyvana's stopping to do golems. Actually, interesting choice. Don't exactly agree with that. I would have preferred him just going straight to his red, but he smited. That's why he did. He smited it. So he's waiting for his smite cooldown to come up, probably. So now we're looking at the lanes. We're going ahead to bot lane here and take a look what's happening. Looks like Ex Machina pushing forward. This is what they're doing. They're taking that early bush control and allowing for Phil 6 to poke. Use that Crow Storm poke. Top lane though, Renekton is shoving himself. It's not too surprising. Nasus does have a very good wave clear in comparison to Renekton early. So
Fiddlesticks does have those the sweeping lens and the pink ward, so I'm not surprised they're pushing. Also, Caitlyn tends to push early.
Yep. Olaf sitting up top is scouted by that ward though, showing its usefulness as Renekton did place that down early, expecting the early gank. Shyvana headed top as well, but there's little poking ball lane. But Blue Fiend Dreamin', where is it going? I would like to see him go take wolves. Checking for the white camp, but it's not there. Renekton, again, just kind of pushing forward. Steven Jackson, not taking too much damage, though, overall, because of Nasus sustain, so it should be okay. Heading to the mid lane, even CS between these two. Looks like they just kind of been farming it up. Blue Pinion right there for some reason. Not exactly sure what they want. Oh, it looks like, he's just, Blue Fiend Jr. sided with the ward. But Olaf in no position to punish this counter jungling. Bot lane bubble landing between the two. Worm King just poking down Ezreal as they retreat. But this is kind of that burst damage that comes from Ezreal. Half of Warren King's health going away. But Fiddle does retaliate with the whatever his E is called. I can't remember now. Dark Wind. Retaliates with the Dark Wind of his own. The Thirst scouting at the jungle, not checking Shyvana's blue though. I really hope he would go check this out. Because he's seen Shyvana a lot and he hasn't seen her in blue. There we go, going right for it, but Shyvana is coming down. Bot lane, Nurse Skirmish having another bubble landing on Raiden Wing. And another Ezreal Q hitting on the Caitlyn, but nothing really happening. Going up to the blue buff though, the Thirst able to steal the blue, evening up the buff count. And it looks like he's going to be able to get away. Lysandra is coming down though to try to kill him. Ahri is coming over as well. Olaf getting chunked immediately. And Blue Fiend Dreamin' picking up first blood.
I'm surprised Olaf didn't check that buff earlier. I'm not sure if buffs aren't as important now, especially with the big white camp worth experience, but...
Well, I mean, I would assume as well as the jungler is just like, alright, he took my buff, he's going to look most likely secure his soon, and I would have, if I was Blue Dream, I would secure that for my mid lane, get Lysandra blue buff early versus Ahri, and just shove down the lane. Put Ahri in a bad position, and knowing Olaf is behind. Top lane though, Mojo kills just right at the tower. Steven Jackson actually a really bad position there, extending himself along, meant to come out and get some free damage there as he gets out with the slice and dice.
This is where you see Renekton's early lane dominance. He has no mana. He doesn't need to use that resource. Steven Jackson is running out of mana. We'll probably see him using his teleport to get back to lane.
Yeah.
Unless Olaf's going to hold it for him.
Looks like Olaf will hold, but I would like to see the TP top still just... looks like he's going to walk back. Pick up a Warden's Mail. Oh, there's the TP top. Looks like they're going to try to get Renekton. Renekton having level 6 still won't do anything. Mid lane, again, just being actually very passive. Farm basically even by both players. As Lysandra is looking to push down the lane. Bot lane, again, mostly just a farm fest. Now, I'm curious how much gold. So, the gold shared, they have gotten an extra 227 gold giving to each other. So, they've actually got 500 more gold bot lane because of this, with this investment so far. So, it's actually paying a lot of dividends for them. As the item itself is only 345. Gank mid lane coming in. The Thirst being a little low level. Lysandra ulting herself. Looks like they're just going back off. Or maybe they're going to go deep. Lysandra forced a flash. Treepy flashing as well, though, getting the kill on mid lane. That is one thing you do not want this game, though. Lysandra needs to be a little more careful now, especially that she does have her flash, is to not get Treepy rolling. One kill is not a huge problem. But if you start seeing 2 and 3 kills start coming up on Treepy within the next couple of minutes, I expect Treepy to be a big part in assassinating that Nami and Ezreal.
Treepy knew that Lysandra went ahead and used her Ignite to kill Olaf earlier. And so he had the advantage in offensive summoners. I'm not sure if she had gone back between then.
I think she had. I think because she had a double Doran. She had 2 Dorans plus Amp Tome. Finishing the Seekers, actually, which kind of, I guess it's not really a strange pickup. But going against an Ahri mid, kind of, I would expect different itemization. I would expect... I don't know, but I don't see Chalice being a good pickup, because as much as I love Chalice, it's just really not something I want to pick up as Lysandra. It just kind of makes your kill potential a lot weaker. But finishing Seekers, I guess, isn't a terrible thing. It doesn't prevent a lot of the damage that Ahri does, but it will prevent the damage of Olaf Gang, so that's something to consider as well. Also, if you get the Zonias, you're able to prevent that Ahri burst, so Lysandra with Ultimate and Zonia's Hourglass killing for 5 seconds, so definitely preventing any of that all-in that Ahri wants to do. So Olaf finally hitting level 6 down over here, or hit it a little bit ago. Looks like he attacks bot lane. A little bit there as bot lane did go back, but the bot lane is shoving, and it's in a good position. Phil 6 gonna head up, try to get some war control here. I expect to see an all-in soon, once Phil 6 and Kaelin hit level 6, or once Phil 6 hit level 6 here. Yep, he just hit level 6, so bot lane here has to be really, really careful here, because while Nami does have good damage, and so does Ezreal, they have a good all-in, they really gotta be careful of that Crow Storm coming in, because that will absolutely just decimate them.
I don't think without some jungle help or a possible forced Fiddle 6 ult that we're going to see too much action just due to Caitlyn's range.
Yeah.
She has such an advantage, it's hard to hit her with anything.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah,
Top
just
lane,
top lane. Yeah, it looks like.
Nasus is actually out farming the Renekton.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice that. So yeah, NASA's kind of holding it in. As much as you think he would be suffering, Mojo Kill's preferring. Looking at tower damage though, 0 damage on purple turret, while blue turret's actually only taking 400 damage. So all that early pressure that Mojo Kill's been putting on to try to get to that fourth NASA's turret hasn't been successful. And if you look at NASA's Q farm, he is at 141 damage already. So that's just about 37 creeps. I think that's right. No, it might be a little off. No, that's in the 40 range. Anyway, about half of his farm is Q farm, so he's definitely getting strong.
He's focusing his Spirit Fire second, which can keep Renekton off the tower pretty easily.
Yeah,
I think Renekton's probably going to go for a Sunfire Cape, which will be a little bit stronger in the mid game. The damage and health being more important than the straight damage mitigation that on the Randuin's.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely Brutalizer actually would have been a bad choice there, because Nasus is at his point where he can just sustain, so Brutalizer probably would have punished Mojo Kills more than anything else, because he wouldn't be tanky for those mid-game fights. And also, it would kind of send him to force him into Black Cleaver. And looking at the damage by Carbonic's team, they already have a lot of damage. Shyvana's a very high damage jungler. And they have Ezreal and Lissandra Ray too, so they have like that big burst damage, as well as a good amount of constant team fight damage. So, going for that Sunfire and then possibly into Randuin's would be a good choice by Mojo Kills.
Shyvana opted for the Wriggle's Lantern, which I expect to see Shyvana's already fast clear speed go even faster.
Yeah.
And
Shuri, yeah. Fiddlesticks ult down here. Not able to get killed with a Nami Flash, so... As Kaylin will go in as well. I'm going to go back for a second, or jump back 15 seconds, see what happens here. So, Fiddlesticks ulting, flashing to actually get on a Nami, but not much follow-up damage, as Kaylin was pretty far behind, and the Thirst was just not in position to get the kill. So, moving back to live. Alright. Let's move back to live. There we go.
Looks like they're positioning over for a dragon because they sent bot lane back.
So it being
Olaf's
warded
pretty
though.
low. I think they should share the aggro a little bit. I can see Shyvana's about to ult in.
Yeah,
Olaf seems way too low.
This is Blue Fiend Dreaming style, going all in. The Fiddlesticks Fear, possibly keeping the Thirst alive, but Shyvana... Yeah, Shyvana going
This
in.
is going to be a pretty easy smite on the dragon.
Yep. Shyvana clearing up the dragon, getting that extra gold here. And it looks like it's going to be cleanup for Ezreal as well, as Shyvana's still in dragon form. She's very quick with that W. I can't remember. Burnout, with that burnout. Looks like Phil 6 being picked up as well, so a 3 for 0 as well as grabbing dragon. So definitely Ex Machina, probably misplay there. Nasus trying to go on a Renekton, but Renekton did ultimate. Nasus did Ghost, but being is not able to catch up.
We're getting to the point where Nasus is going to be, besides his mana running out, he's going to be pretty hard to all in.
Yeah.
Wither is pretty brutal on that one.
Yeah, I would hope to actually see Steven Jackson actually start to build for his Frozen Fist now, seeing as how he has that little armor. He doesn't really need much help, as seen. But bot turret also being taken as well. Purple team, or Carbonic, taking map objectives early. So Dragon...
Steven Jackson is sitting on nearly 2,200 gold. And so we'll see on his back probably a pretty decisive build path.
Yeah, I would assume he would... either finishing his Randuin's, it's very possible, finishing his Randuin's, or building, again, getting that Glacial Shroud and maybe some level 2 boots. That wouldn't be a bad buy as well. Mid lane, again though, nothing really happening too much actually after that kill. Actually, no, Ari did get a kill. I missed out on a kill somewhere, I feel. Yeah, I missed out on Ari getting a kill, so I apologize for that. So Lissandra has died twice, but again, farm's pretty even, so not Lissandra getting that global gold, not being too far behind actually. Look at the gold counts. It is, yeah, just right about dead even. Nami throwing the ball, missing. Lissandra coming in though. Lissandra ult going off, but Ragnarok countering that ultimate, keeping him alive. But the Nami ult also hitting him during Ragnarok. Ezreal, is he going to be able to kill the kill? The Q finishing off Olaf there. So a lot of ultimates burned with 1 kill, and looks like mid tower actually... I would hope Trifi would actually just push this mid tower down and attempt to take it. Top lane, those two guys are just going to keep going at it. So looking at his items, he did go for the Sheen. He tagged for the Sheen instead of Glacier Shower with the Ninja Tab. I like it. Gives him a little more damage and kill potential.
Notice mid lane, it looks like Lysandra's going for a more defensive build.
Yeah.
With the rushing Azanias, the double Dorans. And Treefy went for the offensive build. And due to the build path towards Zanyas, it's giving Treefy an early advantage in the lane, letting him pick up these kills. And it looks like he's going to be able to finish his Deathfire's Grasp before Lysandra finishes for Zanyas. And I wouldn't be surprised to see another gank and kill trying to come out before she finishes
but it
that.
is Lysandra though, so I mean, like when it comes to when Lysandra does finish her Zonias, it's going to matter who can outplay who. Because if Ahri DFGs too early, then Lysandra will either ult or Zonias herself and just stay alive through that burst damage to prevent that burst damage from coming out. Then following with her own damage as well, or just just allowing her to disengage from Ahri overall. So Ahri picking up blue, Treefy with the blue is definitely a scary thing, but with the blue nerfs, she will only be sitting at about probably 25% CDR, or around somewhere around there, because with 10% from DFG and only 10% now from blue buff. So Lysandra roaming top, Shyvana sitting around the wing as well. Looks like they're going to try and engage here, but wards, those wards coming in handy as they're able to scout it. Looks like they're just laughing at each other here. Bot lane continuing to be pushed. Worm King actually quite bad position here, as Ezreal able to get off that poke damage. Fiddlesticks coming from the side though, just getting one crow off. But looking at these banners though, gotta look at the gold counts there. 700 gold given from Nami's, and 700 gold given from Ezreal's. So they've been sharing a lot of CS and basically getting each other richer. So definitely a good investment there from them. It's allowing them to now be stronger in this mid game. Fiddlesticks ulting in plain sight, flashing over as well. Ahri is coming from the side though, so Nami is going to probably become fish sushi here, but she does flash away. Oh, Ahri flashing over straight into Lysandra. Unfortunate they're not having vision, but Olaf might be able to clean this Lysandra up. Now it looks like it's just up to Nami to save, but oh, Nami not able to block, unfortunately. And looks like the Thirst missing a second axe, actually, getting exhausted. And I'm surprised they actually didn't get stuck in the wall. I'm pretty sure, I thought his axes were supposed to be stuck in the wall, but I guess they were. Shyvana dragging his sent onto the Caitlyn, going for those double buffs. She is hungry for that kill, but backs off, doing that tower dive for off Caitlyn. Probably isn't the smartest thing in the world. Navi staying around to try to assist, but she is almost out of mana, so looks like they just want to back out here. Ezreal going for the snipe, unfortunately a second and a half too late here. Top lane again, not much happening. Just them beating the crap out of each other. 0-0-0 for each one of those players as well.
If you notice, Shyvana went ahead and picked up a Bilgewater Cutlass, and is a whole 35 farm, 34 farm ahead of the Olaf, and I think she's going to go a relatively offensive build, relying on Renekton to be their main tank.
Yeah, I see that the cloth armor is picked up, so I'm guessing that it's going to be built into the Randuins, but yeah. Picking up the Bilgewater card list, Blade of the Rune King being a great item on Shyvana due to her E, doing percentage, 2% of maximum health per hit, along with the passive effect of Blade of the Rune King. You get a lot of percentage health damage, allowing for Shyvana not only to kill squishier targets with their high base damage, as well as killing those high health targets with that percentage health damage. So it looks like they're dancing around Dragon, as Dragon has just respawned here a minute ago or a little bit ago here. So looks like Raiden Wing going to try around to clear. Raiden Wing actually opting to pick up that Targon's Brace, the item, but picking it much later, only 41 gold pillaged. So definitely a later investment. I would have hoped he would have picked it up earlier, possibly before Sightstone on his first back, but he decided not to. I'm not even going to look top lane, where honestly there's just like nothing happening. It's just Mojo Kills trying to get the tower, shoving and trying to take the tower. That's all it really is. But he actually might be able to get it. Bot lane, Fiddlesticks, Crowstorm coming in. Ezreal being caught up by that full duration Fiddlesticks Sphere. And Nami taking that properly, but Ahri and Olaf are coming from the side. And good Nami ult there, but it looks like it won't be enough, as they will be able to clean this up and possibly take the dragon. Though Lysandra coming in, ulting herself, but where's her follow-up damage? There's no one else alive. And once that Zonius comes up, gets hit by the charm, Excellent charm by Treefy getting this on her right as she gets out of it. And that should be a dragon for Ex Machina.
You can really see that picking up those relics on both Ezreal and Nami gives the Nami as a whole over 1,000 gold up on the Fiddlesticks, which is allowing her to pick up her items faster.
Yeah. And I definitely think Mac objectives a big part too. Shyvana attempting to go in for the steal, but Caitlyn headshot, or maybe it's one Caitlyn shot, getting it. Looping Dream able to flash out, but the thirst is thirsty for this Shyvana, but Caitlyn getting the Q for the kill. So good play by Ex Machina there, getting the dragon, as well as 4 kills overall of that, helping them catch up in that Goldie and getting it down to 1k, as previously they were behind by I think about 4k. So good way to catch up there. Turrets, they are only up 1-0. I'd really like to see this top turret go down soon by Mojo kills, as he is just pushing as hard as he can for that. But he does have to be careful with that Sunfire cape. He can't just go and attack the turret. Nasus will stand by him and force him to take aggro. Also, Nasus getting huge on his Q, 429 damage from Siphoning Strike. He has gotten about 130 creep kills with that Nasus Q, and he is getting ultra scary, as he will be about the 2-shot or 3-shot Nami and Ezreal here.
Yeah, top lane has pretty much just been a farm fest, neither able to push the other out.
I would have liked to also see more ganks. I wish Renekton would have actually let the lane push and allow for Shyvana to come in for those ganks. I think that was kind of a misplay on his part there, because he did just allow Nasus to sit in her tower and farm. Now Nasus going back with how much gold? Another almost 3k, finishing the Frozen Gauntlet, picking up probably some more wards as well. He might have had those already, but looks like he's going to head back to lane with some home guards.
Ganking Nasus with a jungler with no hard CC like Shyvana is relatively difficult.
Yeah, and that's why also I wish Renekton allowed for the lane to push out, but that probably would have brought up a lot of suspicion. If anything, he should have taken the tower by 15 minutes. That would have probably been optimal. Right now, you can see he's just trying to rush for it, but what can he do? Nasus now has AoE clear with Frozen Fist. He can actually probably beat the crap out of Renekton. So he has to, Renekton has to be very careful here, seeing as how he is, in a sense, behind the Nasus.
With the Renekton sustain, which you'll see a lot of times, is he'll let the creeps hit the tower and he'll ignore the Nasus and get 2 or 3 hits off the tower and slowly poke it down. But going for that Sunfire cape means the tower's just going to aggro him, which stops him from doing that possibility.
So mid lane being pushed down, taking advantage of Caitlyn range and the Fiddlesticks, making it almost impossible for them to hard engage without getting punished, as well as Ahri being right by Caitlyn just to charm anyone who dares step forward. So I want to look at Ahri actually, see what. Oh God, Ahri's level 14. Only put 2 points of charm. Deciding to put points into her W, which is probably pretty standard. Something to consider on Ahri is that as her charm goes to brink, it does get increased charm duration. So as you see layer levels, and once someone gets caught by that Ahri, you're likely to see a Fiddlesticks Dark Wind into Fear. So it looks like their purple team is pinging around neat. Looks like they really want ward vision of this side area. With no more oracles though, what can Ex Machina do? Really, like neither team actually can take this ward, so you just see wards everywhere. And pink wards, they can be seen by everyone now. They're not invisible, but they are timeless, which is something to recognize as well. So if you have a control of an area, you just have a pink ward there forever. So pink wards definitely being an interesting, very new. Mojo kill. Oh yep, kill going down. Nasus putting down the beat with his Q there, slamming for another double stack of his Q, getting him just even farther ahead, sitting almost now at 500 on his Q. Looks like they're going to try to push down mid turret in response. I like this. Mid outer turret definitely needs to be taken, seeing as how it is a point in time where they need to start considering Baron control. Olaf attempting to do damage to Savant here, but Fiddlesticks ulting, forcing him to disengage. Olaf ulting as well, while there are 4 mid. So Nasus continuing that push top, taking the second tier turret actually. So definitely going to see a lot of gold on him right now. Yeah, sitting around 2k, so is Treefy. I would like to see Treefy go by. And it looks like they're actually going to try to push mid turret as Nasus goes back to buy. Caitlyn not being there though, so Blue Fiend Dream going in. As I said, that Fiddlesticks Spear is going to stop him every time he goes in. And the Nami ult catching the Fiddlesticks. Lissandra deciding not to ulti someone, actually. I actually disagree with that choice. Fiddlesticks finally going down, but losing Shyvana for it. Lissandra going down.
Ult just came up.
It just came up. Oh, geez. Yeah, no, this is definitely a follow-up here. Ezreal gonna get knocked down. Definitely see your Renekton. Possibly take down. I would have preferred them chasing Nami, but looks like Steven Jackson's on the case, as he is barely done in range. Oh, there's the ult there from Caitlyn. Will she escape? And she will not. So, very good counter engage.
Looks like Renekton is going to go for a Warden's Mail, which is probably to try and help stop against Nasus, but I'm worried that Treefy will just be able to burst him down here in a short order.
Yeah, and right now, Renekton trying his best to hold him in, but actually putting himself in a bad position here. So yeah, starting to play attention to that fight though, it was that they weren't able to get the burst. They weren't able to capitalize as much as they want off the Nami wave. Lissandra needed to ult Fiddlesticks and just take him out and then push an objective. But since they extended the fight, there came the extended damage. Phil was able to get another fear off, and then Ari and Nasus coming from behind and coming clean up there, allowing for, I'm pretty sure it was a 4-for-1 for them overall, or probably just, I think it was just a 3-for-1. Yeah, about a 3-for-1 overall. As well as being able to push down 2 mid turrets. So Ex Machina really proving that their teamwork is a lot stronger than Carbonic. So Carbonic, they got that bot tower early. They haven't taken one since. So it looks like the strategy is to send Ezreal top now to get that turret. But they better do it quickly because Ex Machina, they are gaining the gold lead.
There's this interesting interaction between Ari and Lissandra that I've seen Treefy take advantage of once, where Lissandra will use her Glacial Claw to go in, and Ari can throw a Charm right on top of it. And I've seen Treefy attempt it a couple times, but Lissandra hasn't walked into it yet.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very smart counterplay on Treefy's part as well. He is being Diamond 1. I won't say expected from him, but that is something that you would expect him to think of and do. I mean, personally, I'm not really a mid laner. I never play Ari or Lissandra, so I don't really know how the matchup goes. But Treefy, obviously, being comfortable in the match, knowing what he needs to do. Rather than being aggressive with his charm and throwing him out randomly, he's waiting for Lissandra to make the misplay. He realized it is a skill matchup. Whoever gets caught first loses. So, and the only way I can catch her is if she does that path. So, it looks like they're going Bush Camp here. Blue Fiend Dream phase checking. Great Nami double bubble, though, but not enough to save Blue Dream Fiendin. Fiddlesticks and Ari and Caitlyn looking to kite around, but Renekton showing his dominance, showing that, hey, I might have overall lost lane to Nasus, but I still do a shit ton of damage. So Nasus coming through though, trying to take out Nami. Ari able to throw it to Q, take out Nami. Looks like Lissandra's caught out now in a bad position. She's in a bad spot, waiting on the cooldowns. Steven Jackson able to live that as well. So overall, a 4-for-2. Benefiting Ex Machina, and I expect them to actually not be able to take anything, seeing as how Treefy and the Thirst are only one up or at close to good health. But Renekton being alive, he can wait through almost anything.
They'll probably pick up Dragon real quick.
Oh yeah, Dragon did just spawn recently, so they'll pick up Dragon again. Doing a team fight, taking map objectives. This is what Ex Machina is doing so much better. And now, initially, when they're behind about 2k gold, now they're up almost 6k gold. At this point, that's not a huge difference, but it is adding up.
Carbonic is relying on some big cooldowns like a Shyvana ult, which she didn't even get off in the last fight, and a Lissandra ult and a Nami ult. And Ex Machina is combating that by kiting backwards and extending the fights.
Exactly.
Which is putting them at a big advantage.
Fiddlesticks Fear is an absolutely amazing thing that you can constantly get off. And I want to look at the cooldown it has right now for it has a 9, so it's a 3 seconds, so about 2 seconds on Shyvana. Shyvana's disabled for 2 seconds. It's only a 9-second cooldown. So basically, if there's a 7-second off time where someone is in fear, but in that time there could be a charm thrown in, there could be a trap, there could be a Caitlyn snare. And so there's a lot that's preventing Blue Fiend Demon to really, Blue Fiend Demon and Renekton to really stick on their targets well. So it looks like not really sure. It looks like a Baron dance might be in session here. Purple Ex Machina actually going to have that advantage here, seeing as how Radiant Wing has that Scrying Orb or Greater Lens compared to the Greater Vision Tome of Nami, which I think she should have not gone into. I think she should have for the early game. I think the Ghost Sword is fine, but you need to have that greater lens because you can only have one pink word and there's no oracles. So, and overall, I would like to see soon on Olaf possibly pick up that greater lens as well, allowing them to have basically the equivalent of two pinks to none when it comes to clearing words. Nasus T-ping from behind though,
Fiddle's
but
ulting in.
yeah, Phil's away from the side. Nasus going straight for the Ezreal Nami. Lissandra being picked off early. Streepy going straight for that Ezreal and Nami, flashing out of the Ezreal ultimate. Streepy going to be able to clean up Shyvana as well. Shyvana being picked up, Renekton being knocked down as well, and Ezreal finally being cleaned up as an ace for zero come out for Ex Machina. Very, very well played for them. They compressed them from so many sides. They forced them to go towards that Baron River. Fiddlesticks coming from the right, Ari coming from below, and Nasus coming from up top, forcing them to
Surrender vote coming out.
Surrender vote coming out. All right, I was hearing some chat going. So there we go. Game over. Ex Machina having a little rough early game, but coming out in the end with that great team fight. And my league thing just crashed. Oh, nope, it's good now. All right, it's being weird. So, game finishing up. Looking at gold counts here, Nasus and Ari being absolutely huge, as well as Caitlyn, all sitting about the same gold. While looking at the other team, Lissandra being a 3K goal behind, Ezreal being the leader, but also 2K behind, and Shyvana being even with Renekton, but still behind Olaf. So overall, taking those MAC objectives really gave Ex Machina that gold boost and item boost they needed to just absolutely destroy in that last team fight.
Blue Dream Fiendin and Shyvana did a lot of work early game, but all the kills in gold seemed to go on Shyvana, and they weren't able to capitalize that on mid game.
Yeah,
Lissandra was forced to ult herself and ult early a lot, meaning it wasn't as effective as it could have been in team fights, and the team really relies off Shyvana getting a good ult to catch out one of their squishier targets.
So the bans for last game, GG Kronk is asking, Carbonic decided to ban all jugglers. They banned Lee Sin, Jarvan, and Nocturne, while Ex Machina opted to ban out Zac to take away Blue Fiend, Dream, and Zac. But do you remember there were two bans for Ex Machina?
It was Zac.
I can't
and two
remember.
Other champions.
Yeah, we can't remember. Yeah, Aatrox was one of the bans. That's right. Take away Mojo kills Aatrox is my assumption. And then it might have been our top laner bot, but anyway.
Zed.
Oh, Zed, there we go. Yeah, they banned out. Wait, did they? Yeah, they did ban out Zed. You're right. Wait, Ex Machina out Zed? Oh god, I feel like an idiot. I was saying Treefy was playing Zed in that. Wow. I got my bans confused earlier, I guess. Anyway, going back to it, hopefully the second game will start soon, though. It seems we're just missing Carbonic here. But what analysis what do you think Carbonic really needs to do to win this next game?
I think Treefy really started to snowball the game out after an early kill on Lissandra. He was able to gank bot and gank top. And with top just mostly going even against the Nasus, it just wasn't enough. I think they need to just make a stronger showing in the solo lanes.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, their bot lane, they did basically win early, and I like those items that they built. I really think those actually helped Ezreal Nami really obtain items quickly. But from my support point of view, Nami did not have good enough ward control. She needed to have that greater lens to really take out Bush, allowing Fiddlesticks to not be able to ult in from anywhere, or to at least prevent the other team from having Bush control. So I hope to see this next game that more greater lens are picked up. Hopefully on the junglers as well, because jungle ganks were very ineffective overall. And it's great that you have a ward that you can ward Dragon or help your laners ward. But I would have liked to see the greater lens so it prevents. So you just use that greater lens and then just swing around again like a minute or two later to get a kill, or or at least put the other team in the dark to not know where your jungler or where you as a jungler are.
These games are strange, all considering the season has just changes. Everyone has a lot of things to work out, and it puts a lot of new factors into which team is going to do what. Yeah. I agree that we should probably see the lens out of the sport, considering their gold tends to go towards things like wards anyway.
Hmm. So, and something I actually really want to see is Cleanse Cup being built earlier if there's a CC heavier team. I really would like to see Nami pick that up earlier because you saw there was a Charm, a Fiddle Fear, and Nasus Wither. With Cleanse Cup only being the Chalice, and Chalice being actually a quite great item on Nami. It's she is quite mana heavy. The Cleanse Cup only means 1600 gold. That's a 3 minute basically cleanse.
Are
For
you talking about Mikhail's Crucible when you
Yes,
say
yeah,
Cleanse
sorry.
Cup?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
saying close up. Sorry, I mean Mikhail's Crucible. Apologize. I just call it the Cleanse Cup because it just built from Chalice of Harmony. So I think that would have been a great item. I think it would have saved Shyvana in a couple of situations there and saved Ezreal a few times as well from that Nasus Wither that forced him behind or forced him to run away. All right, so it looks like game two is going to be starting up here. So yeah, definitely looking at. I think that Carbonic needs to push their leads early. If they do have that early game team lead, I don't think top tower is actually ever taken by Mojo Kills, and that was a big problem too. Renekton got big, but Nasus got bigger, and that became a problem. In the end, he was 7-0-3, I think, along with Ari as well. So definitely need to shut down those solo lanes and force them into uncomfortable positions. Nasus being a ban right away, no surprise there. Ari banned coming out as actually wait, Nasus actually being banned from. Oh, I see. They're afraid of the first pick Nasus because they're purple side. I like it. So ban out Nasus and Zac. Lee Sin being banned as well. I guess they're afraid of the thirst playing Lee Sin. I've actually never seen him play Lee Sin, so I'm interested in that ban. Ari and J4 bands coming now as well. One to take out Treefy. They saw how big Ari got last game. They don't want that happening again. And ban J4 prevent Thirst from probably his most comfort champ. Thirst has been renowned for playing also J4 as well in most of his games.
I want to see a lens coming out on Mojo Kill's top lane to cl- clear that early ward and see if they can't snowball him with some jungle pressure
Yeah,
and go ahead and get that lane ahead early because I think that would be very pivotal if they can shut down the top lane. I know Mojo Kills. Both these top laners have played pretty exceptional. I know if
yeah,
one of them gets the kill, they could very well snowball the objective and snowball the game.
yeah. And Aatrox being the final ban as well. Don't want to give Mojo Kills that Aatrox. Though with Aatrox nerfs, I don't know if he's as much as a threat as he used to be because it's only 30% early on rather than 50% at all levels. So, but it does scale in then a little better. But Aatrox does somewhat fall off especially any game without his passive falls off. Kassadin being locked in though, I like it. Treefy, I remember playing a scrim versus Ex Machina, and Treefy did pick up Kassadin. It was very scary. As even though our mid laner was able to do well versus Kassadin early, it is that Kassadin mid and late game that make him an invaluable assassin and allow him to game provide him a ton of map pressure. Raiden Wayne locking in Caitlyn as well, grabbing that for Worm King, seeing as how they were comfortable with that pick last game. I like it.
The Zed coming out, which is a pretty good pick versus Kassadin early game, and it'll scale well into late game.
Yeah. Definitely level 6, though. Again, it is kind of one of those skill matchups. If Zed ults too early, Casting can just ult out and get away. So, or unless Zed does save his W as well. So, definitely will be kind of a skill matchup again. Zed pre-6, though, has a huge advantage, I think, seeing as how he is energy based, and as long as he uses his Shadow Harass well, he can get a lot of damage. Twitch coming out, though, from Carbonic. Oh, never mind, Ashe. Okay.
Switch to Ashe.
Ashe definitely one of the more less seen pickups. I would expect uh, Ex Machina to pick up Zyra right away. Actually, I would really hope they do pick up Zyra because you do not want an Ashe Zyra lane going down because there's a ton of peel and a ton of CC. You'll never be able to engage on that. Even Azul will have a tough time. But Fiddlesticks looks like Fiddlesticks going to be the pick possibly. Yep. So going for that poke damage.
I do,
I'm Go ahead.
I do like that Ashe pickup against a Kassadin. Kassadin jumping in and assassinate, if he can queue up an arrow fast enough before that Riftwalk comes back up, it's really easy to burst a
Ooh,
Kassadin.
so Mojo Kills picking up Shen and Annie being picked up. I haven't seen Annie in too many games. So Ex Machina, you better be careful because the Annie Ash Wombo combo, that is a ton of level 6 stun power. definitely surpassing Fiddlesticks and Caitlyn for sure. So level 6, I expect Carbonic to definitely be pushing in for that kill and taking Dragon off of that as well. With Shen also being part of that team as well, they can have a 5v5 bot lane so quickly. So, Steven
I like
Jackson, go ahead.
I like seeing Carbonic going for a few more things that can force fights, especially early game.
Yeah, and
I think
especially
that's where they can easily win this game.
and the global pressure that's given by Shen Nocturne. Once 11-11 kicks, once they both get about level 11, that's a big Shen shield coming on, and Nocturne ult radius is gets a lot bigger. So you can expect him coming in from way from the side and diving in with a Shen ulti right on top of him, with a follow up of Ashe and Ashe Arrow on any of those fights at any given moment. So Vladimir coming in from Steven Jackson here. Hearing from Bluggo Shark, that is actually a comfort pick for Steven Jackson. And seeing how it is Shen, it should be a pretty safe lane for him to farm up.
I like Shen a lot with Zed. Shen ulting into a Zed ulting is very strong, and Ashe has a little bit longer range than Ezreal does against the Fiddle pick, and so I
Mm-hmm.
think she should be able to kite back a little bit better. Though Olaf is a relatively strong pick against her because
Yeah,
she just can't. She doesn't have any peel with him.
yeah. So I'm going expecting when it comes down to team fights, what I expect to be happening is we're definitely going to Thirst diving in as well as Raid and Wing. I actually don't expect Raid and Wing to dive in. I expect the Thirst and Treefy to look to pick someone off, or when it comes for pickoffs. But 17 fights, it's going to be a Thirst in the back, while Treefy looking to come from the side to pick off the support or AD carry, while Raiden Wing, Worm King, and Steven Jackson work together to kite around after Vladimir gets a big ult. So probably we're going to go with initiation of Fiddlesticks ult and interfere, or casting and catching someone using a slow as well. So definitely a lot of pickup power. I think that's where they're going to succeed. Is can we kill Ashe? Can we kill Zed? Can we kill them very quickly? Can we take out Annie? If we can assassinate them, a lot of their damage goes away. A lot of their, if you take out Annie, that takes out a huge team fight component from Carbonic.
I want to say that Ashe arrows are going to be big, especially in the middle of the game. But obviously, Olaf can block them, then ult. Um, we have the Kassadin able to ult out of him. I don't know how quick the net works with it. And ulting of Vladimir can easily get your team baited with Pool
Yeah,
and Zanya's.
and as well as Kalen Beal the E out of the way, as well as taking cleanse. Very smart on Worm King for taking the cleanse, seeing as it's a very CC heavy lane. Though what I want to see, I'm hoping to see early on the ball lane. I see a stronger early game from or stronger level 1 to 3 from Ex Machina. But as we get towards that level 6, as we start ramping up a little bit, as the first buys come, I feel Carbonic definitely has an advantage, especially if they can get Caitlyn to blow a cleanse early, get her to blow cleanse and a level 4 engagement, or like a level 5 engagement, allowing for the level 6 flash Annie ult to just flash Annie ult ignite, and an Ashe arrow to finish up, follow up in the CC will just be decimating, or it will just decimate Worm King.
I would have thought that Ex Machina would have the advantage over the first buy. If that Caitlyn can punish early, as Caitlyn's generally do, with their extremely long range and poke, then if they can get just a small item advantage over Ashe before 6, they might be able to turn fights around.
Yeah,
Especially if Kassadin can roam down fast enough.
I'm definitely going still. My money is definitely still going to be on the other side actually. So we're going to disagree. I'm going to agree to disagree here because I really
That's
love.
fair. I don't play bot lane, so
Yeah, I like the Annie pick because Annie has better auto attack range, but Fiddlesticks does have Crow. So it's definitely again gonna be on supports. How can the supports outplay each other? They both have very strong level 6s, but CC does go into the advantage of Carbonic. While Fiddlesticks is only able to fear one target, Annie stun and Annie stun's able to hit multiple people, as well as Ashe Arrow is a stun as well. And any of Annie's spells actually can stun as well too. Gotta definitely be careful in that bot lane. Actually, want to talk a little more about that towards the jungle. Bluefiend Dreamin', I've only seen one of his Nocturne games, and that was our first game where we actually lost our first game going to the losers bracket in that OSU land. And it wasn't really the best performance, but from what he's told us, it's one of his strongest jungler champions. So I'm expecting a lot.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
get him to you. Okay.
coming from the third tier, hopefully a bit better Olaf game. He was kind of out of position a lot, but unfortunately early on he did get his buff stolen. So let's hope that early ward control and invades. Uh, let's hope that Ex Machina does a little better this time because they were kind of caught out by this level one and level one advantage. Is something actually we've kind of forgot about. Level one advantage definitely goes Carbonic here. You have the Shen taunt, Ash volley, with ZQ, Annie stun, and Nocturne Q to follow up. While as Ex Machina possibly has Fiddlestick Silence with an Earth Sounds from Cassidon, maybe a Trap or E from Caitlyn, and Axes from Olaf. So they can disengage if they play it smart, but there's a lot of engage coming down from Domination and Mojo kills. So I definitely expect an invade coming in.
I
All
want to
right,
see. We didn't see any early wards last game, but I want to see some early wards this game by Ex Machina, especially with their slightly inferior early levels
yeah.
until a couple champions get 2 and 3 and get their
So
abilities
let's see
going
what the
on.
items are picking up. Cassidon and Trifi, or Cassidon and Olaf taking the time a little bit to come in. Zed as well. So there we go. Raiden Wing picking up that Shrine over again. I like it. Taking out early while Nami or Annie does offer that extra ward. So look at the pings here. Look at those pings all around. That's where they want to be. They want to prevent this invade. But blue team aim is coming in quickly, and Worm King might be in a bad position. He did take his traps, low one, so he's just going to walk away. The thirst,
In,
Oh no! Oh, throwing the axe, but walking into them. The Shen taunt, able to flash away though. Annie didn't get the stun off. Very lucky for Olaf there, but kind of sloppy at the same time. He saw them there, but wasn't able to do anything. Looks like another blue invade. Ash going to be able to zone out Olaf here.
Shen
So
blew his flash on that, which means he might be a target of an early gank.
yeah,
Though
here's
Vladimir's early gank damage is not that high. Um,
trap going
it
off.
doesn't look like Zed has picked up his trinket yet, or unless that's a
Ooh.
glitch.
No, I think he just completely forgot about it. Cause I mean, it is a new season, so he might have just forgot about it completely.
I
And that
actually would rather say that he wants to see the Cassidon trinket, and then go for the ward killing trinket to go ahead and get a roaming advantage on him.
That would be good. Oh, here we go. The 2v1 coming out from Carbonic. I like it. They want to shut down Steven Jackson. Vladimir is a or not terrible. He has a rough time 2v1 though. He does well versus melee champs, but has a hard time versus range champs with his low auto attack range and low spellcast range overall. And Ash Annie, oh gosh, I feel bad for that Vladimir when he gets to lane and what he's going to realize. So both junglers starring red. No ward coming out though from Ex Machina, so they don't know if they continue for that invade or not.
I would actually put Vladimir as a pretty decent 2 verse laner, especially with his sustain.
But that's
And
only if
he's
Annie
hard
allow.
to dive too.
But the thing is, that's only if Annie doesn't zone. But with Annie, Ash, so look at that. They're already positioned. Yeah, they're zoning out. Vlad's not going to get any farm for a longest time. He's going to be forced to farm under tower. Zed and Castle going at it pretty hard. Looking at the jungle invade though by Blue Queen Dreamin', chasing after Olaf. Definitely an interesting choice. Throwing down his ward there. So this is why I like the Scrying Orb on the junglers though, because if Olaf had it, he'd be able to clear that. But now he has to play super scared. But Nocturne just walking away. He's just going to go to his blue and pick that up. But Raiden,
Interestingly, he just kind of waited around a while. It let Blue Dream Fiend and Smite come back up, and so
yeah.
he might be trying to smite it. Looks like
Phil
he just threw
6
it back
popping
off.
his pink ward actually to clear that out, seeing as how his sleeping lens was not up yet. Caitlyn being able to farm basically even with Ash on farm, but what's going to matter is the tower damage, and Carbonic's already getting turret damage on it. Annie is just throwing down the hurt onto this Vladimir. So it looks like Caitlyn. Oh, it looks like they've actually gotten a little more tower damage actually. So Phil 6 and Caitlyn gonna be poking down this tower. Gotta be a little careful with the Shen taunt, but it is Phil 6 at level 2. He should have fear at this point. He does have fear and crow, so any engage can be countered and returned. A lot of damage will be returned.
I think Caitlyn is doing a better job of building up bigger waves, which is going
Yeah.
to allow her to get more damage on the tower overall. But Vladimir's taking a little bit of poke. He does have a lot of sustain, though. He's
Yeah.
used his pot already, where Shen hasn't.
But I mean, that also comes down to Shen Vladimir mechanics. Vladimir is able to prevent the wave from getting bigger. He's able to go in and throw out a little more spell damage than Shen can. So it looks like Olaf coming up, getting beat up by Blue Fiend Dreaming as he's going for this counter jungle style. I like it a lot though. Looks like they're going to try to 3v2 this top early and get the top turret early. Well, there's still just a 2v1, but bottom turret's taken.
It's very difficult to dive with Vladimir.
Yeah, but oh, there's the dive. Blue Fiend Dreaming. Who's Annie taking turret perfectly, actually. Now they can actually switch on Vladimir. The Q misses by Nocturne, though. But Steven Jackson in a bad position. But looks like they're just going back off from this.
Vladimir does still have his pool up.
Yep. And so he definitely bait that out. Oh, Cassidy coming up, getting caught. What is he doing? So Zed's going to actually go get some mid-turret damage for free here. As top lane looks like they're going to push down. But the turret only taking about 500 damage compared to bot lane, which has already taken about almost 1500 damage here. So advantage definitely going to Ex Machina on the turret damage, but First Blood is given up by the Thirst, going to Nocturne. So early kills on Nocturne. That's what their team revolves around. At least I feel it's going to revolve around Luffy and Jimmy getting big, diving early with that Shen ulti on him.
I think that Ex Machina is going to want to take this tower as soon as possible. Caitlyn is amazing in a duel lane. She's good at a 2 vs 1, but the 2 vs 1, they're losing the advantage on it. And as long as they can get Caitlyn into a laning phase against Ashe, they're going to be in a good, strong position.
Yeah. So Nocturne, again, just opting the counter jungle. This is very stylistic of Blue Fiend Dreaming to counter jungle a lot. Since he has double buffs, it doesn't matter he's a level behind. Double buffs make him superior to Olaf. And now he's just going to steal all of Olaf's big jungle while leaving his own just leaving it. I would like to see, honestly, the Thirst, going for this bigger creep. Olaf actually having quite good single target damage as well. So it looks like the lanes have been switched up. It's actually back to a 2v2. Surprisingly enough, actually, I would have preferred that Vade's purple Ex Machina took the bomb turret, because that will give him dragon control. They're giving up dragon control now by going back to allowing the 2v1 to switch. So I would say if bot lane decides to switch up, and this is what they're doing. They're switching right back to the 2v1, and they're gonna have dragon control. I just missed the dive mid. I'm going to go back to that really quickly. All right, let's just.
It looks like.
Yeah, Zed ulti was already burned. Yeah, he already ultied, and now Caston just staying too long mid. ZW's on to get the kill, and yeah, that was the problem with that Caston in Rome is he didn't have the levels and got punished for that being only level 5 compared to level 6.
This game, it looks like they got a more favorable matchup mid, which is helping shut down Treefy a little bit, which I think is going to be.
And look in the CS counts right now. That's huge. 47 and a kill to 22. And Zed not picking up his item yet, so I think Zed's just actually making a bit of a misplay, but it doesn't really matter. It's like, maybe just say, I don't even need this item. This item's for scrubs. It just makes you lose. I'll just beat you without it. So maybe that's his mentality on it.
If you look at the farm on the top laners, Vladimir is catching up, and that is showing how Vladimir, as he gains levels and his Q gets on a lower cooldown, he's going to become better and better in the 2v1.
Yep. And look at turret damage though right now. It is 1600 to a full turret. So this is actually pretty bad for Carbonic, as they won't be getting this first turret. But they do have dragon control, and I really think they need to take advantage of that. Nocturne is pretty big right now with the Doran's Blade and the Spirit Stone already completed. So I like to see him once he hits level 6 possibly go for a gank or contest dragon.
I want to see Mojo Kills give up this tower soon enough for a Channel and try and get some dragon control trade objectives.
Yeah, that's also something to put into account is Mojo Kill is level 7. But they will sacrifice top turret if he does do that. So they gotta make sure they get that dragon and a turret to really make it a worthwhile play. But
Ashe has hit 6 and has her.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm looking for. But it is against the Vlad though. So if Vlad does pull at the correct time, he can dodge 1, maybe 2 abilities. But taking a lot of poke damage from the volley and anti-Qs.
He'll heal that up pretty quick though.
Yeah, and Olaf.
Yep. Hold lane.
Oh, being level 7 actually, just farming up his jungle. He is actually ahead of Nocturne this time, but still being down a kill is pretty detrimental. Top lane looking for a play, but there is a warder here that sides him, so Ex Machina backing off smartly. So Caitlyn gonna, where is she going? Does she have her ward up? She does have her ward up, so after that ward expires, or maybe I would soon expect a ward to be placed in this bush right here. So at bot lane though, and he's still not level 6. Something to pay attention to, they did actually go those banner items again. I want to say only 300 gold given on each of those. They're not getting as much as I thought they would have as last game. But I guess, only gives 5 gold early on, so that's why the gold share is actually not as much. But yeah, no, they're not sharing as much gold as I felt as they were last game. So going back to overall gold though. Look at the gold. I want to say the big difference. Look at mid lane is Kassadin has 1k less gold than Zed. Nocturne. I actually need to get my things at the same. I need to move these things so everyone's at the same thing.
Going for Banner, which one of its secondary abilities that you obviously pay for because you pay for all the stats on an item, is healing the other lane opponent. But they still opted to go for the 2 versus 1 lane, which means that that's not nearly as important because generally you're not going to get poked down in the 2 versus 1 lane.
Yeah. And I think also the big difference of seeing the teams is that, at least in the bot lanes, quote unquote, is just the choice of Ex Machina. Raiden Wing feeling more comfortable with that season 3 build, getting that early sidestone compared to Annie, who preferred to go the item or the banner first. Well, if you notice, who's ahead in gold right now? Oh, there's the Ash Arrow though. Yep, and the Annie stun following up. Vladimir gonna die to ignite. And Annie picks up the kill. I would really hope to see a dragon right now. I would really like Lupine to back off of that, go for that dragon. But looks like a mid engage is happening. Treepy going to get bursted down. Zettel not getting as much damage off as he might have wanted, but he is almost dead. Shen ult actually stopped by Fiddlesticks, I think. Fiddlesticks got a fear off on the Shen. Ran Shen to come down. So I still think they should go for Dragon. They do have the Annie Bear, but looks like they're going off to take mid turret instead, seeing as how it is almost dead. Yeah. Yeah, Annie Bear actually gives a lot of utility to it for pushing power and taking Dragon. So I won't be surprised if they go straight for the Dragon.
That was an interesting kill on Vladimir earlier. I feel that if he had better reaction time or was paying more attention, he could have just pulled the arrow and it would have been easy to avoid that death.
Yep. And I think Annie flashed up for that as well. Annie didn't even flash that, actually. Wow, so good positioning by Annie to be able to get on, even without boots. So
the speed boost on the pool, though, it'll just let him get out. No arrow, just speed boost.
So it looks like another early lead here for Carbonic, but it looks... what I'm
Shen's
liking...
going in on Vlad.
Yeah, Shen being ahead of Vlad substantially, actually, at this point. Shen has a lot of damage in 2 levels on Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson only had the Revolver, 2 the Chain Vest, and the Giant's Bolt of Shen. Meaning, well, it doesn't do the Chain Vest doesn't do much versus Vlad, obviously, but it prevents minion damage, so he's able to dive into creeps and not really worry about taking too much damage. And he will sustain it with his Vorpal Blade. So, looks like mid, there's gonna be another gank here. Zed, though, decides not to go in and able to escape. I wish she could kind of fade that out better. Also would like to see boots on Olaf. No boots on Olaf is actually hurting him a lot. He only has 350 move speed, so he's moving slower than basically most all champions at this point. So not really the best thing. He doesn't have Ghost either, so he really cannot catch up in these fights. He's completely relying on his Q. So right now,
Carbonic is up about
5k gold.
4,900 gold.
Yeah.
Which is pretty big at this stage in the game. I think that Ex Machina is a pretty good team for catching and comebacks. Kassadin is obviously very scary once he gets rolling.
Yeah.
And once Vladimir starts to catch up, he'll be relevant in team fights. He's very strong.
Yeah, I have to say now they need to take... I think the goal of Carbonic right now is take 3 more turrets. Especially get top turret, another mid turret, and possibly another side turret as well. But looks like Gage going down. Caitlyn forced to cleanse, but the Ash Arrow coming in, hitting Fiddlesticks. He's tanking it, but Fiddlesticks will fall for this, unfortunately, unless he has a flash. Flash barely saving, but Annie flash auto queuing to get the kill.
Here comes Kassadin.
Oh, yeah, and the side looks like there's a fight over here as well, but Olaf gets away. Looks like they're going to try to steal this blue. And yeah, see, this is what I was saying, that they just have a better engage. Caitlyn can't do anything against this hard engage. She can only run away. And if Fiddlesticks behind, well, Fiddlesticks, you are the fat friend that is saving Caitlyn from the bear. So Fiddlesticks being chomped up constantly. Or it's probably going to be constantly if those two, that 2v2 continues. Nocturne ulting mid. Zed not having ultimate? No, oh, there's his ultimate finally. Treepy going down and picking up another kill on Zed. Nocturne actually, sorry. Putting him 2-0-0 to the 0-1-0 Olaf. So, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I want to see a dive or at least some ganks here on Vladimir in a couple minutes, because I don't think Shen can take that tower without a little bit of help. The sustain and wave clear on Vladimir is a little too much, but if they can go ahead and get that down, get a little bit more map control, they can group up.
And that's exactly what
Shen
they're
is
doing.
Still stronger than Vladimir.
And look at this, Annie and Ash coming up. They're like, all right, we need to take this top turret. We can't let Vlad just be right at that position. We already lost our top turret. We need to take their top turret. And they could possibly dive this, as Annie throwing down the stun. No ultimate, though, on Annie. Timbers being down. Ignite being up, though. I think they can just go for this. The Q ignites death. Oh, Annie just needs to ignite this. Or, it looks like Nocturne should be able
Vladimir's
to
gonna go down.
There we go. Vlad throwing down the ulti as his last surprise, but top turret going down for it. And Caitlyn,
I think Vladimir should have gone a little bit more aggressive on that before the Nocturne got there. Went ahead and ulted, got some damage on Ash. Maybe tried to push him off, especially with Treefy coming. You might have been able to actually pick something up there.
Looking at his mid tower now, Zed just tanking the Fiddlestick string, not taking like any damage, just he's put it half the tower at HP. Purple's Eye does take bot turret finally, but Shen is looking for the kill on Caitlyn. And wow, Olaf dying top 2. There's just a lot of stuff happening. So Caitlyn obviously is going to dive the Shen unless he has a flash E coming up here. Nope, there goes the kill, and top lane looks like it's the action as Annie single-handedly zoning out the Vladimir and Cassidy. That is a red buff Annie. That is a scary sight to behold. Zed coming in for the side for the dive, not able to go and kill Treefy, but that's a level 11 Zed versus a level 8 Cassidy. Cassidy has been effectively shut down this game. As I said, they need to take turrets. They have taken 2 turrets. They took 2 top turrets within 3 minutes. Or within 3 minutes of after what I said. Now, I'm hoping their next objective is to take down this mid turret. And start getting ready for Baron. Because if you take out those 2 turrets there, and with the amount of, or their lack of warding, that Fiddlesticks and new by himself, it's going to force all of X Machina to start warding around that. And allowing Shen to split push bot lane even more effectively. So Ash Arrow coming down mid. Oof. Missing all targets there. Cassidy barely dodging it. Looks like that was kind of just hoping if it hit, yeah, something can happen. If it didn't, oh well, kind of thing. Caitlyn and Olaf sitting around the ball lane though to try to stop the Shen, but Mojo kills is absolutely huge as he is sitting on a Sunfire as well as working towards Merc Treads. Actually, not as big as I thought he was. I'm guessing he's sitting on a lot of gold. Yeah, well, only sitting on 1,300 gold, but I hope to soon see a set of Merc Treads out of him to prevent the fear duration, as well as maybe a Wit's End from, or no, not Wit's End, sorry. Maybe build into a Randuin's, or maybe a Spear Visage to prevent that large amount of Vlad, Cassidy, and Fiddlesticks damage that will come out of X Machina.
I think I'd see a Spirit Visage. He has a lot of armor. Caitlyn's not particularly big right now. Oh, she only has an IE. So yeah, she's in that shield that he has is more than enough to stop any of the damage that she wants to put out. A 17-18 minute IE is not terrible, but she's significantly behind Ash.
Yeah.
And as long as they can let Ash auto attack, they can go ahead and win the fights. They have a big advantage right now. They're pushing it pretty well. They're keeping all the lanes pushed.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be dive here. Nocturne. They know something's up. The Rain Wing, I'm assuming, was pinging there. Is like, Nocturne was around our jungle. He has to be around here somewhere. It might have been that ward right there that spotted him. Looks like a lot of poke damage coming from Ash and Annie, though. As
Ash Arrow's up. We can see a dive mid with the
Nocturne. Oh, there's Cassidy going in, but with that silence, she's not able to retaliate. Not pulling up. There's the Ash Arrow, though, going in.
Here comes the Nocturnal.
Yep. And lots of stuff happening here as Cassidy will end up falling, as well as Nocturne going deep on thirst, but that CC move from Ragnarok just ended as Nocturne really gonna fear and get out with his life. Taking out another mid-tier turret while Shen is just chilling bot lane. Stan was like, nah, we got this. I don't need that. Shen will just keep pushing bot lane. We want to take that bot turret.
I see another tower coming out. At least the bot turret.
Yeah, the bot turret's definitely going to be taken. There's no way the X-Machine can stop this. Cassin is playing, but Cassin's level 9. He has a Catalyst and a Tear and a Sword Fruit to his name, to the Blade of Loon King and Brutalizer of Zed. So, definitely Cassin being shut down, unless this game goes on for 20 minutes, which it doesn't seem like it is. Cassin will not be relevant. Neither will Caitlyn. Caitlyn needs to finish her. For her to become relevant and fight, she needs to finish a Zeal, a Vamp Scepter, as well as a Last Whisper. Maybe ignore the Vamp Scepter there, because I'm just saying that for lifesteal purposes. But she definitely needs a Zeal and a Last Whisper very soon here, as the armor is definitely kind of starting to kick in, as Shen is tanky, Nocturne has an Aegis of the Legion, and he's probably going to build into Mertreads. Probably build this, finishing the Locket actually, so getting even a little more armor, I think. And then building Ninja Tai-Bai actually, so very tanky for the dives.
Shen seems to be going for a Trinity Force next, which isn't a bad option considering how far ahead him and his team are. Nocturne is tanky enough, they don't necessarily need another full tank, and he's tanky enough with the Sunfire Cape, yeah. So I think that's a pretty good direction for him.
And I mean, look how squishy Ex Machina is. I mean, and before that, we just get to see Nurk kill possibly on Cassidin. Zed, get the Q. Oh, he doesn't decide to go deep for it. But yeah, no, look at Caitlyn. Caitlyn, she's sitting at about 1.5k health. The Thirst being the tankiest, sitting around 2k health. Steven Jackson sitting about 1.7k. Phil 6, well, almost dead, sitting out 700 himself. Phil 6 going down though, getting caught. And Cassidin sitting around only 1700 health himself. So, getting that Trinity Force, Shen will build 1v1 anyone on this map. Forcing him to, allowing his team actually to fight 4v4 and make it a 5v4 if needed.
With the changes to Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, I think Vladimir is an interesting pick. It has him go Will of the Ancients this game, which I just feel has mana regen right now and is not that strong of a
But I mean, so did the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith. So it's an item that it gives. Actually, it's right about the same stats for like the same cost, I think. That's really strange. I would prefer picking a Spirit of Spectral Wraith. Unless Spirit of Spectral Wraith is changed, I haven't actually looked at the changes on it.
Yeah, it has changed. It no longer gives Spell Vamp. It like returns health on spell.
Oh, okay. So that okay. Oh, okay. Because I was like, then they're exactly the same item. So looks like, see, this is the power going top lane though. Shen able to take out a third of Vladimir's life with one small combo. And looks like they're just going to swing top to push a top tower. Ex Machina scrambling top to stop this. Able to prevent a good amount of damage, but they're not going to be able to engage. Caston's still not level 11 for that level 2 ultimate. Caitlyn, Vlad, and Olaf are the only ones level 11. Compared to Carbonic, who have all hit their levels, or all have level 2 ults, and Zed and Shen approaching level 3 ultimates very soon.
Shen maxing out his shield here in a moment. I think they're going to leave him top lane and start using their advantage to push down mid lane, since he seems to be able to go ahead and walk in with his shield, take 3 or 4 hits on the tower, and then walk out without taking too much
Honestly,
damage.
At this point, I would really would have liked Shen to be in the bot lane, or pushing, or his team to go bot lane. Unfortunately, the lane is pushed against them, but it is starting to shove. So in the next 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to see bot lane pushing to this next inhibitor turret. And I really hope that they will go down and have continue Shen out top, and then be pushing the bot tower, really forcing Ex Machina to extend their forces. Since I mean, they can transition mid to top in a matter of seconds, compared to bottom and top in next inhib turrets, which take about 20 seconds for the support and any carry to get over to.
Olaf and Caitlyn make pretty good wave clear. They can mostly one-shot the wave, which is keeping their inhibitor towers alive. The inhibitor towers give more golden experience.
Yeah, and this is
the other towers. Here comes the Channel.
Yeah, here comes the Channel. Though the Thirst overextending, but taking the Frost Arrow, but getting absolutely popped by the Zed.
And that was the Shen Zed I was talking about. It just it's a very hard engage. It lets Zed just go in and it locks down the enemy
Yep,
team.
and there's Nocturne pushing bottom, seeing that huge minion wave. And what can they do to stop it? Nocturne can 1v1 almost anyone with his build. But looks like they're just going to opt for taking that mid turret. With Olaf down, they have no hard engage. Who's their tank? Kassadin's definitely not it. Sure ain't Fiddlesticks. And Vladimir was just up top. So giving up inhib tower. Looks like they might be able to take this mid inhib. Nocturne going deep though, going straight for the Fiddlesticks, but getting feared. Unfortunately, didn't put up a spell shield right away, probably. Mojo Kill's going real deep, trying to get that Fiddlesticks. Not able to get the kill. Might go down for it with the Night Taking, but nope, he is not. Blocking the Caitlyn ultimate, popping the lock in a little late as well by Blue Dream being in, but it will force him back, not losing him. Vladimir going in with his ultimate, going to be able to take down Shen here, most likely. Oh, Shen's barely surviving that feint, keeping him alive, but right now, Carbonic's on the run. Olaf going down as well, and yeah, Carbonic really needs to get out. Nocturne almost being dead, getting finished off. Zed and Annie being the only members alive. They need to back off and get healed up. But it doesn't look like Machina can go for Baron, so they won't lose any objectives. Top or bottom lane still being pushed, and mid inhib's open. So I expect them. I expect Carbonic to be picking up more items because Zed has picked up BF himself, and going for that mid inhibitor, then possibly baiting Baron while Shen sits around the bot lane.
I think Carbonic overextended a little bit there. They probably should have stayed back, just go ahead and got that inhibitor.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big fight for Ex Machina, especially because you see Casting getting the Blasting Wand. Previously, he had pretty much purely utility items. And he's about to start. He's going to get his Rod of Ages. He's probably going to get a Zhonya's.
But Rod of Ages at 25 minutes, that's bad. You want your Rod of Ages done by 15 minutes at the latest. On Kassadin, yeah, especially on Kassadin, 15 minutes, you want it done. Preferably he would have it done and fully stacked by now, but he does not.
It's bad, but it's not tragic. It ramps up the stats, but it ramps up relatively quickly, and if they're going to win, this game's going to go on for a while.
Yeah.
And so I think I would still go ahead and finish it. It's such a strong item mixed with the tier.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to be tanky with the burst damage on Zed, and...
Yeah, I would have preferred, actually, going into Archangel staff being behind, since it does give you that tankiness once you finish it, and still being a good item, and then just keeping that Callus there and then build toward more damage, like Zhonya's. And
he may just go for the Archangel staff. It builds out of that item.
Yeah, I would like Archangels into Zhonya's, but it might not matter. I don't think he'd get enough gold farm for that. Seeing as how Carbonic, we haven't even said it recently, but they're up 14k gold. And they're just poking us down.
Caitlyn gets picked.
Caitlyn getting absolutely destroyed. Raiden Wing coming from behind, getting destroyed instantly by Zed. Ult not even necessary, to be honest.
I think that's going to be Baron.
Yep. I would actually prefer them to go top, take the top next to turret. But hey, Baron, there's nothing ever wrong with a Baron call at this point. They're so far ahead, they're just going to take Baron. Then maybe
they have
Shen
huge vision advantage too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way for Fiddlesticks to get out and clear anything. He needs a buddy. And if it has a buddy, they're going to get caught. There's an Ashel and a Zed and a Nocturne and Annie just waiting and waiting for them to be out position. As well as Shen Taunt as well. So everyone having their own ability to stun or kill someone instantly. So Baron being taken down. Looks like, the
Treefy might get caught out here.
Yep, Treefy, or the Thirst going ulting to get out of there. Does have ult 2 boost. Looks like he will be able to escape, but at what cost? Top turret's going to start being pushed. They do have bot lane being pushed very heavily. And with the new inhib changes, only mid lane is super lit minions, and only mid lane smaller minions get 100 health buff. So you don't really have to worry about other lanes being stronger, which is a new mechanic to think about.
But looks like Nocturne's going to go clean up bot. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go solo dragon or duo dragon with Zed maybe after it, as it's starting to be worth more gold because it scales now better later into the game. And then that'll go ahead with Baron buff and a pile of new global gold.
Yeah. Nocturne actually might go by really quick as well. He is almost enough for a Spear Visage, but he could opt to go for a... Let's see. Looks like Zed actually might just solo the dragon. Nocturne going to grab his red buff. Yep, just going to go back. Leave the red buff for his AD carry. And he's going to go back most likely to finish the Spirit Visage.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
And so another dragon. I don't know how many dragons that is. I think that's a third dragon they've taken though. Or no, I think it's only the first dragon they've taken. I think Machina got the other dragon. I think they might have got it. Anyway, doesn't really matter. They're just getting more and more ahead, almost hitting almost that 20K mark here in another 2K gold.
Not just the gold lead. You can see the map control with 7 towers to 2. They
Yeah.
can barely leave their base. They were out scrambling to get some jungle camps, get some gold income, but this is going to be a very tough game to come back from.
If
Even if you
you
look at that farm, the only person who really has any farm ahead is Caitlyn. And
yeah.
Annie has finished her death cap now,
Oh
which
jeez.
is incredibly scary just for a support,
Yeah.
because Fiddlesticks is sitting on a ruby crystal in comparison.
Yeah. And now if you look around the map, we'll look at map vision. They have 3 wards on the map. That's it. And they're just in random spots in jungle. Well, they all good wards. It doesn't matter though, because while they're out warding, they're blue team decided to push bot lane and are likely going to take it.
Brute force, pure
Yeah.
gold lead.
Yeah, looking at blue side, just as not as many wards themselves, but they do have because they have towers. They do have overall more map control. Ashe are going out of nowhere, missing everyone. Another arrow of destiny coming out, and unfortunately not hitting. But looks like they'll be able to.
Honestly, I think they might have to force an engagement right here before the inhibitor goes down.
Yep.
Since Shen's gonna get the top tower anyway.
Oh, looks like the flash on the thirst going deep, but the thirst has
Steven Jackson
disappeared.
has Zhonya's.
Yeah, doesn't matter though. He's going to get popped right as he comes out. Able to take down Zed, but for an ace. And that
That
looks
was a
like
4v5.
Yep.
Looks like they're
And-
gonna go ahead and end.
Yep.
The GG's coming out.
Yep. So, great game by Carbonic, really pushing that early game lead and able to do what they weren't able to do the first game. So, in the end, Carbonic versus Ex Machina going 1-1 against each other. So, we'll see how these future game goes in the league, because if one of them gets defeated again, the other if they get defeated and the other team continues their winning streak, they'll not be as high up in the league. They'll become second. So
I think pretty similar bans are just gonna go ahead and come out to last game.
there's not last game. It's only 2 games.
No, it's 2 out of 3. I thought.
No, we do only do 2 games. We only do two games.
That's
It's
silly.
well no it's a round robin, so it's the way our point system works.
I suppose that works.
It's
I didn't know that.
this is our first 1-1 of the whole U of OLCS actually. So
I was
every other
completely unaware.
yeah every other set has been 2-0. So this actually makes it even kind of more frustrating, since these are the top 2 teams in the league. So now they're tied. So if they continue beating other teams, what's going to happen is they're just going to be tied. Maybe they'll do some sort of one match thing to see who gets second seed, or maybe it'll be some statistic or something. Reed will probably rig it anyway, though. Let's be honest, he'll rig it to say, "Oh, whoever had more assists on their supports will get the points," or something to that extent. Probably not, though.
Yeah.
So
I'd say this is, of the Yellow League, this is pretty the featured matchup.
yeah,
And this was a pretty big outcome, a pretty big tie it up.
yeah.
As long as they both go ahead and win the rest of their matches out. Who will get first? I don't exactly know how it works.
Yeah, it's whoever. Yep, they'll read or in the group will have to decide, or unless some of the other teams are able to pull out a clutch, or not. I won't say clutch, but are able to pull out a win on these other teams. It could change the standings as well. But
Well, how do they, if they tie, do you know how it decides a win? If they both only have one loss to each other?
no, that's why I'm assuming it would be some sort of sudden death or just rock paper scissors, just random. So
Yeah, let's play some ARAMs for the seeding.
oh yeah, that would be good fight. Or even better, have a 1v1 tournament. Each players go against each other.
World style.
World style, like a PK, be it like a PK shootout, like soccer. You have each of your each matchup. So your the mid laners go versus your top laners, junglers, and they can shoot. They can decide on whichever the losing side decides champs, and that would be great. I think that would be a fun way to do it, but I doubt that would happen. So it seems like
I don't know if that's gonna come out, but we'll see.
yeah, everyone's chanting for ARAMs. Maybe that's post game ARAMs, but that could also probably be for the ARAM to decide it all. ARAM, though, being based on team comps, probably wouldn't be the most fair. I would see Reed definitely shutting that down right away. But overall, let's get back on and talk about the game. Complete dominance by Carbonic this second game. While they did dominate the first game, the second but losing to end Ex Machina's overall better team play, Carbonic communicated a lot better. I feel I'm not in their voice chat, so I don't know. But I'm assuming they communicated better. Bluefiend Dreamin' was able to be everywhere on the map. He was 2-1-10, meaning he was part of most all the kills and was constantly taking control for his team. So
I'm surprised we didn't see something like Armor Quince and a Dorn Shield start out of the Cassid, and he kind of let himself be shut down, especially with that early roam that didn't get him anything but wasted time.
yeah. Oh man, I wish I could see
Shutting down
them.
Trafi was pretty important,
Yeah, yeah,
and bot lane did okay for Ex Machina, but
yeah.
like I said, having the solo lanes win out was really important
If you look at
considering their performance
and
first
if I
game, and that's exactly what happened.
and if I want to put MVP of this whole series, I want to give it to Domination, or at least for the second game, 6-0-11 on support Annie, being part of all but 3 kills. She was doing work, keeping map control, showing that hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you don't need this greater lens to be a good support. But I definitely, again, I would have liked her to pick it up. But taking Deathcap, able to get more kills, and she was just always in team fights, having mobilities, always being around, and having that face of the mountain item. I saw it get thrown out here and there, and not useful times. But anyway, it's still good though because well, it also gives gold. I like that. I like the passive effect of it. Is killing a minion heals the nearest ally champ for 2% of your maximum health. I
I'm
really
giving
like that.
MVP to Blue Dream Fiend, and even game one, his early game pressure was very strong.
Yeah, yeah.
The 2v1 lane swap was a good plan. I think that really worked out for them.
Yeah, I think that worked well too because they saw, hey, this is a matchup where Vlad just gets the farm. Well, what's a matchup where he doesn't get farm? Hey, 2v1, and I mean, it probably threw off Steven Jackson a bit. If Steven Jackson played Renekton, for instance, he would have had a lot easier time. But being Vladimir, he has a very difficult time in that 2v1, and because of that, basically, uh, Carbonic winning mid lane, basically winning. Carbonic was able to keep that dragon objective under their sights and take it basically at all turns they could. So overall, fun games to cast. This was definitely it kind of gives some insight into old versus new. It really felt like season 3 versus season 4 when it came down to early item selection. So it was definitely I definitely liking these ball lanes though. The item
Oh yeah.
choice I was skeptical, but I become a believer in this domination, big and tough stuff. I'll go big Nick tough stuff.
Let's
Oh
just go
god,
with tough stuff.
let's go with
Um,
tough stuff without so we don't racially offend anyone. Um, definitely showing that they're able to get gold for each other, give each other early leads, and because of that gold, they're able to get bigger items early. So
well, this has been Carbonic versus Ex Machina. Thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed it, I implore you to watch all the other ULCS matches. We have a lot of good matches coming up, especially my match versus Calvini here
yep.
next week.
And just a little heads up, we actually our team is actually doing 2 games this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. I'm not exactly sure of the times. So look forward to a lot of TCG action this week with 4 games going to be brought to you this weekend. So stay frosty, my fellow UOLCSers, as winter has come and it is cold, really cold out. So stay warm, stay inside, play League of Legends, and enjoy the school life.
Shout out to season 4 and the base god.
Yep.
Peace out.
Peace.